Recording live from somewhere. It's the world's famous TITT is home team in the motherfucking house.
No question. What's up, baby?
Hey, man, you already know, man. As always, it is Davis backwards. And who state your name, gangsta?
Philmatic 365, a.k.a. one half of the two-man Voltron. What's going on?
Hey, man, just excited to have an opportunity to talk about this good hip-hop culture that we know and love. And always, of course, we want to send a shout out to our previous guest. Most recently, episode 182, had a chance to sit down with Jamil Honesty.
Yeah.
Round of applause for him. Definitely did his thing. Became a member of the Tissue and the Tape Cypher, home of the MC. Definitely, just gave some jewels, some gems, some insight into who he is, and
absolutely,
definitely, episode came out well. People get introduced to his music and his movement, so that's always a plus. And then episode before that, of course, another big shout to the Vintage Babies, who are scheduled to have a pretty big week this week. So
yeah. By the time you hear this, they probably would have already had that week. So
yeah, at least the pinnacle of it.
Yeah. But, shout out to them, man.
Yeah,
Maimuna and DJ Dummy.
Yeah, for sure. So yeah, no, we've had some nice episodes. Of course, we talked to DMV's own Davis as well. In between there, though, we had our Monday night menagerie. Where we just talked about a myriad of things, and we're gonna do the same thing, except it's just not Monday night, so it's all good.
Yeah,
it's just another night, ladies and gentlemen. As always, definitely want to give a shout out to the War Room Sports Podcast Network.
War Room,
B. Austin, Jimmy, Dev, the Burtons. John Appetit in the War Room, two of the best shows on the internet. Definitely giving a shout out to them, and then also to the official watch of the Tissue and the Tape podcast. Of course, give a shout out to Tally and Twine.
Yes.
You get your fine timepieces there, tallyandtwine.com. You can use the promo code TITT to get 10% off of your purchase when you check out.
Absolutely.
Time's up, like OC said, man. Let's get to it. So we have plenty to talk about, as always. I mean, there's
so much going on.
There's so many stories, and in this era here, it's almost tough to not just get into the most recent, headline and whatnot. But we got to pay homage first before we get there, Philmatic.
Always, man.
So it's 2018. So if you go back 10 years, that leaves us at 2008, which was an okay year for music. It wasn't, anything that you would just spend your whole week listening to. But if I tell you can only listen to stuff from 1998, you might be a little bit more interested in that.
98 was pretty special. Yeah.
So if I told you, all right, Phil, you could only listen to the albums that came out from that year, one of the ones that would definitely be in the mix for sure would be Moment of Truth by Gang Starr.
You already know. You working?
So it was their 5th studio album. And depending on who you ask, depending on, how you look at it, just based off of how their trajectory went, it probably was peak Gang Starr.
Yeah, they were. I think
you don't necessarily say that it's their best work, but you definitely have to say that anything that came after it wasn't, the Gang Starr that we had become accustomed to. They matured, and I think that was like, okay, like Guru probably was at his top in terms of just like what he was talking about, and then Premier, who of course we have 20 more years of.
That's crazy when you think about it.
Yeah. I mean, that obviously wasn't his pinnacle, but just them together, I think when that dropped March 31st, 1998, that definitely kind of put them, solidified them for sure.
We're getting to 40 years of primo, yo. We're getting we're approaching it.
I mean, it's definitely something that you know, that he talks about just in terms of what he's been doing and how long he's been rocking. And when he first got to New York, you know, he loves to tell that story because he's like he just loaded everything up and just made moves. But let's talk about Moment of Truth just for a moment. Man, like I think when you look at 1998, I think it just was right in the mix of DMX. You know, he pretty much had like people were really anticipating you know, that album. People were anticipating Camera, people were anticipating what really what Pun was gonna do too. Like when you looked at that, and then Gangstar
was like one of the biggest stars in the world at the time, coming off of the Slim Shady LP.
So
Ruckus was in full effect.
Ruckus, so definitely right. So people were sort of kind of really, they were like, okay, like Buster was crazy, man.
That was Prime Buster.
So it was like, all right. So like Gangstar always had that way of kind of fitting in, and you know, not being too rough, not being too smooth, not being too over your head, not being too grimy, just being just right, you know?
Yeah, and another key point that we should probably explain to some of our younger listeners, there was no social media at this point. There was also no file sharing, so there was no online music. You still had to actually go and physically buy it. So promotion was hugely crucial. So videos and video shows, BET and MTV still show videos at this time, so that was hugely important. So it played a big factor in who was successful and who was not, and who was known and who was not.
Yeah. That's when the record label used to really, you know, have the budgets of, you know, 500,000, $1 million, you know, 2 million, because it was the same type of campaign, but now it's just a different medium. So instead of you paying for a promo tour, you also are paying for something that can go, you know, into perpetuity, like a video, something that can, you know, can play several times, etc. So
instead of paying for clicks and likes,
right?
What's I supposed to say
that? Different type of payola. But also too, the other thing about 98 was, I mean, the internet was it wasn't quite what it was, you know, 3 years later or 2 years later, so to speak. So people
America Online was still in full effect.
Right. You're still going to go get your disc from, you know,
yo, I said America Online to somebody, and I was like, they looked at me like,
yeah,
and I was like, and they were of the age that they should have knew, and I was like, AOL. They was like,
oh, that's what that meant.
Like,
oh no,
hey, it's just what it is, man.
I know you'd be like, yeah, you know, like America Online Instant Messenger, AIM. That's what that meant. Oh no! All right.
Move along. It's nothing to see here.
So Expected Deck made an appearance on there on Above the Clouds. He definitely killed it.
Uncle Face
on Betrayal. G-Dep even was there on the Mall joint, which is one of the stranger records on the joint. It was like, I see what y'all are doing, but it's like it I guess they didn't want to leave it on the cutting room floor, but it was
MOP was on there.
Definitely. B.I. versus Friendship.
Yeah.
Freddie Fox. And Big Freddie on the Militia.
Freddie, that verse, man, the Gloria Gaynor, you motherfuckers, I will survive. Yo, the energy on that verse, that was I remember that being the source quotable for that month when it dropped, and just that was really like almost like a rebirth for him.
Yeah, for sure.
I mean, because he had his appearances on Jewels, and then that, and it was just like, damn, Freddie was that, and that was like Bumpy Knuckles. That is like, and I think that kind of like solidified the relationship between him and Preem, where they were later do collabs together.
Yeah. No, can't forget Casey and JoJo, who essentially probably the second biggest single off the joint, because my steez exploded when it first came out. But Royalty, definitely, just from the video and just
that was a big crossover joint.
Yeah, exactly. So that was huge for them. But go ahead.
No, I was gonna say the unofficial remix. I don't know who did it.
I don't know either.
But shout out to them. Somebody went and added a Big L verse to Work.
Yeah.
And it fits so perfect. And that's the version that I listen to. Like I have it on my phone when I listen to that joint, And it's funny when I hear the verse with an actual song that it belongs to.
Yeah.
It feels weird to me, like it feels out of place.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, that was dope that whoever did it, because it was L had just had recently passed.
Yeah.
And somebody had the brilliant idea, and I don't say that sarcastically. I generally mean it, to put him on Work. So that was dope.
Yeah. The other thing about Moment of Truth, I guess, that kind of really stood out, of course, was Make 'Em Pay. You want to talk about hip hop quotables? I mean, this is one that made the wall. Crumb Snatcher.
Yo,
I mean, he got his Capadonna /AZ/
Yeah, he definitely made a name for himself. That was another one. I think he had a quotable off that joint too.
Yeah. So it had been 4 years since Hard to Earn, and they had gained all the props that you could possibly give MC / producer group, which is now kind of one of the things that we're seeing a lot more.
Yeah, it's kind of the rebirth of the one MC with one producer.
Yeah. I mean, just dating back to Eric B and Rakim. I mean, they kind of set the standard for it, and then Gangstar, of course, just taking a torch, and then now we have Prime, we have Jericho Jackson, was just recently came out, which
shout out to L and Crisis on the Boards with the Heat.
Yeah. It's something that I like just because of the cohesiveness. We've seen Apollo Brown do it a lot over the past couple of years.
Apollo Brown has done his 1-2 thing with Sky Zoo, OC, Razzcast, rapper Big Pooh, Planet Asia, and there's another one coming out. I don't know I can't think right now who the next collab was with, but there's one on the way. But yeah, definitely shout out to Apollo Brown, who's kind of mastered the I'm going to take one MC, give him beats, and just mesh my sound with his rhyme skills, and like you said, they all worked. All 5 of them that I mentioned, they all worked
and become a group much like what Gangstar was. So they definitely left a great legacy, something that couldn't be duplicated even if you tried. So Preem is always extremely respectful of what they created as far as a legacy, and I think Royce is extremely respectful as well, and he always lets people know, this isn't about replacing Guru, but it's more so just paying homage and definitely carrying a torch. So anytime we can see that, man, we're fans of that all the way.
Yeah, man. It's a huge difference between biting and stealing and culture vulturing and paying homage. And what Royce is doing is definitely paying homage. And as you said, he makes it perfectly clear that this isn't a new Gangstar, but this is something separate and unique on its own.
The true Gangstar fans, not the ones that call him P-Ron.
Word.
So, all right, man. Anybody that knows you, anybody that knows me, and when it comes to comedy, when it comes to just comedic genius, we respect Dave. We definitely have a tremendous amount of respect for Chris Rock. He said some things that we live by to this day. On a daily basis. We quote his anecdotes. But am I out of bounds by saying that Ed, and by Ed I mean Eddie Murphy, he probably had the largest impact on you when you were younger in terms of just how you view things, you know, from a cynical type of way, from a, you know, different perspective. Like, that's not out of bounds, is it?
Do a bear take a shit in the woods and wipe his ass with a fluffy white rabbit?
I say all that to say, you know, a lot of things get said about Ed. You know, he's a different type of dude. You know, whether it's people say, you know, he's had some shit movies here
Who hasn't?
recently. Who hasn't? But all in all, people also like to bring up, you know, maybe some extracurricular things that he did that are outside of, you know, what we know to be true or not true. It's just conjecture. But you know, I can't speak to that, man. You know, as much as people love to bring that up every time they talk about my guy.
Yeah, I love to get my jokes off and everything, but I don't care about none of that.
Right,
I don't care. All I know is pound for pound, joke for joke.
Yeah.
None of y'all better. Excluding nobody. I said it. Yo, if you feel different, I am at Philmatic 365. You can at me. We can tangle ass about it all day. And I mean,
I had looked up and it was Ed's birthday, and I just realized, I was like, yo, I haven't trolled the group chat about Kevin Hart in 2018. So I was just feeling extra froggy this morning. I apologize.
Let's get to the bones of the beef you have with Philadelphia's own Kevin Hart.
I think he's an amazing mind, man. I think he's extremely motivated. He has the type of engine that reminds me of a Russell Westbrook.
He's a little engine that could.
But, you know, like, seriously though, he reminds me of you know, don't say Frank Gore, but he reminds me of a young, you know, all day Peterson, you know, Adrian Peterson, like someone that's just relentless, you know.
So his kids should run and hide.
I mean, you know, that too. But no, seriously though, there's someone that's just really relentless that just, you know, has put in the work. And then
he not Adrian Peterson, he not AP, he like WP.
Hey, I mean that too.
No, but go ahead.
But no, I said all that to say he's just a relentless guy. Over the past 10 years, we've seen him go from doing this like cameos to
Paper Soldiers to
exactly, to
selling out Lincoln Financial.
Movies that do 900 million in the theaters, you know, worldwide. Yeah, I mean, he's just an incredible hustler.
Yeah.
But when it comes to just the actual art of what he does, I think he's extremely talented in the way that he puts his life on display, and it's no holds barred with him. But I think just in terms of just how I feel about his comedy, I walk away from watching Raw and Delirious feeling a different type of way because of the style that I feel like Ed kind of created. And that was like the black pop culture superstar that didn't really exist in the manner that we were familiar with before him.
No doubt. See, when I hear Raw or Delirious, for me, that's Illmatic, that's Reasonable Doubt, that's Life After Death. That's what those are. What Kevin does now is great for now, and I enjoy him. I get why people don't, but I enjoy his stand-up.
Stand-ups, I gotta give him that because, like I said, he's selling out football stadiums, so that's nothing. But I think where I get out of touch a little bit is just with the movies, and I know you're only, you know, some of the movies, and even this last one here. Let's talk about Night School. The trailer came out. I actually walked away looking at that like, okay, like that's not terrible, you know, like I wasn't like, oh, I'm offended. I just like some of those movies. I'm like, just with some of the for lack of a better term, shucking and jiving that's done it. And I'm like,
well, see, here's what I say. I tend to agree with you. I just say like he's basically following the formula that Eddie Murphy set up, then that blueprint, except it doesn't work in 2018. Like you can't do the buddy cop movie the way you can't do Beverly Hills Cop in 2018.
right.
It would be laughable. It's just like the same way like movies that in TV shows that were straight lace and serious, they get remade as comedies. Like right. we were supposed to take Dukes of Hazzard serious. Like, Starsky and Hutch was supposed to be serious. Like right. What's the joint with the women? Charlie's Angels. That was supposed to be serious action drama. Yeah. And it was hijinks and hilarity, right. You know, as the remakes, because 18 was the closest one that they kind of, and even that had some, you know, right.
It was campy.
Yeah, it was campy. So you can't expect to take that formula and get this
maintain your cool too.
Yeah, and maintain your cool. It's not going to work in 2018. So,
but it's getting that paper though.
Oh no, he's getting all the ducats. He's getting all the ducats.
So that's what people ultimately say, because it's just like they're like, well, why wouldn't he be on a Mount Rushmore? He's a legend. And I'm like,
no. I don't. No.
And look, and then it's like, well, and then they say, when you say I don't know about that, they're like, well, what do you consider a legend? Look what he's done in the past 10 years, and you're like,
how I look at it.
Do you have to have legendary material to be a legend?
Absolutely. Yes, you do.
Okay, so people don't necessarily agree with you on that one.
I know, but
and then they might say that he does. If they say, all right, and you gonna learn today, and he
has classic lines. Mm-hmm. There's no classic movies. There's I would say there's some very good stand-ups. I wouldn't call any of them classics.
Yeah, no, for sure. We're in the business of giving him his credit, definitely.
Yeah. For the I think he has some very, very good stand-ups. Like Grown Little Man, I think was a very good. I think that might be the closest one to a classic. Laugh at My Pain, you know, those two might be the closest to classics. But I want to address that one point though. You have to have classic material, because if that's the case, then you have to say, you know, somebody like Hammer, mm-hmm. who sold a ton of records, or Vanilla Ice for that matter, mm-hmm. who sold a ton of records, is a legend.
Right.
And he achieved some, you know, some significant heights and had some significant career achievements.
Yeah.
That does not make you a legend, you know, because if that's the case, you know, then Timmy Smith from the Washington football organization's mm-hmm. Super Bowl with Doug Williams, he had the record for most rushing yards in the Super Bowl, so he should be a legend because he did something that nobody else did. Right. I mean, that was just one shining moment at that night. You know, you get what I'm saying? Like, you can have these one-off moments, and that doesn't make you a legend. What Kev is doing, he's putting himself by his work. I think his body of work will ultimately get him to that legendary status where he might not. I know you said don't bring up Frank, but you know, where it's not the 2,000-yard season, but it's the 100-yard. You know what I mean? That'll ultimately is going to get him to Canton. You know, whether it's first ballot or not, that's neither here nor there. But I think Kevin, you know, he's gonna do that. He'll be like one of those dudes. He may not never have what me and you consider to be legendary or classic material, but he'll have enough, you know, of hits to be considered, you know, an all-time great.
Yeah.
Mount Rushmore, though, I don't see that.
It's tough.
Because all right, so because if you say he's Mount Rushmore, you have to tell me who you kicking off. Because if you look at, I could give you, you know, 10 names and say Richard Pryor, Eddie Murphy, Chris Rock. I feel like they have to be on Mount Rushmore. That fourth spot is whoever, it could be Martin, it could be Dave Chappelle. I mean, there's so many. I mean, if you really want to get into it, it could be George Carlin. We could have that guy that shan't be named. The drink.
The drink champ.
Make some noise. But so there. I mean, there's a lot of people that you can put in these spots. Bernie Mac. So, but is Mount Rushmore?
This holds a different type of
because I tried to look at it from a non-nostalgia point. I went back and watched Ed's Rondo. They're still extremely funny. He couldn't say a lot of the stuff that he
couldn't say it now.
Yeah, he could never.
And to be honest, if someone was to post this on the right page or something like that, like he would get in trouble for the stuff now.
Oh yeah, they would fire him.
Like, isn't it funny how that happens? Like stuff can just exist as long as it's just kind of under the radar, and then as soon as
when it'll come out, when it'll when it'll show itself. If he ever tries to stand up for something, if he ever tries to get political and say, hey, stop killing black and brown people, then they'll bring up his use of the some derogatory terms for
for blacks or for people with alternative lifestyles or what.
Yeah, so they'll bring up all of that, even though that stuff was, I'm not saying it was right. It's just what it was.
Yeah.
In 1983 and 7.
Yeah.
So.
But all in all, I do definitely want to give Kev a huge salute.
Yeah, because it sounded like we was pooping on it, and it's not that
too crazy. Yeah, no, I just think just from a personal standpoint, and I feel like everybody's entitled to their opinion. If I'm gonna support him, it's gonna be differently. Like I'm gonna support him by spreading the word that he has something going on, spreading the word that he's done something right in terms of with the community, spreading the word about that, and even supporting when I can. But in terms of putting my $12 or whatever it costs to see a movie nowadays, that's not happening.
Let me ask you something real quick, and then we can get on to the next thing.
Yeah.
I feel like he's way too. He's oversaturated. He's just in too much stuff. But when they're paying you top dollar to be in stuff, how do you balance that? Because like I believe that he knows that at some point they're not going to love him.
Right.
Every king gets their head chopped off.
He's trying to fill the bag while he can.
Yeah.
So he knows that the boys.
He never know when he might have to give up half.
Right. Yeah. So I think his goal, one of his goals, is to be a billionaire.
And he's making moves towards that.
That's what I'm saying. So he that's what his goal is. So you're not going to turn down anything that's going to get you closer to your goal. As long as it's not infringing on your beliefs.
And one last thing, and I promise we'll leave this alone. We talked about the whole Kev, shucking and jiving, and not saying that's what he does, but
nah.
I think he walks the line as best you can. Like he gets right up to it without crossing it. I can't think of any one or two moments where he's like WB, like. So
if you had to answer this, is he a physical comedian or is he a cerebral comedian?
I think he's definitely closer to physical comedy. Like it's more of he's not so much joke telling as it's facial expressions or movements. You might see him dancing, he might fall, but I don't think it's like to where it's like when I think of shucking and jiving, it's something that'll embarrass.
Right. Set
all of
niggas right.
us. Yeah.
Nah, man. Shout to Kev, man. Definitely. And shout to Ed, too. Can't believe Eddie Murphy is 57 years old.
Yo, man, that means we old, yo.
Phil, so Ed is from that Saturday Night Live era. He definitely is one of the reasons why it became, you know, a
phenomenon that it is.
Phenomenon, exactly. Cardi B is someone that's kind of carrying the torch for the Bronx right now. And for the ladies, to be honest, I mean, her and Rhapsody have had, you know, some of the most phenomenal year and a half to a year, depending on what
They pretty much the ones that been holding it down. I mean,
so here we are. She's actually about to be the musical guest for Saturday Night Live, which is going to be hosted by Chadwick Boseman, aka T'Challa, aka Jackie Robinson, aka Thurgood Marshall, aka
James Brown, Godfather of Soul.
But no, what do you think about that, man? She's gonna, not only is she gonna be the musical guest on SNL, she's also gonna be the first co-host that Jimmy Fallon's ever had.
Wow, yo, that's crazy. Nice. Yo, I remember many moons ago, one of like, this is like maybe a year or so before The Hangover, on Jimmy Kimmel, where Mike Tyson was his co-host, and it was just like his like reintroduction to the world. It was like the new Mike Tyson 5.0. I mean, it was
he did it for like a week, and then remember it was like around Halloween, and he and Bobby Brown did like the monster.
Oh, they did. Oh, that joy was hilarious.
No, I could watch that right now.
Yeah, I don't see Cardi Monster Mashing with Jimmy, but I see the energy, yo. And yo, shout out to Jimmy, because he gets in where he fits in. But can any two people be any more different than Jimmy Fallon and Cardi B?
I don't think so.
Yeah.
People that aren't familiar with her that tune into that particular show, they're gonna be like,
they're so not ready. They're so not ready. Like there's gonna be some soccer moms and a lot of liberals that was like on the fence.
Yeah.
That might just they might be all the way right after. And not the good kind of right. But
ladies and gentlemen, Bel Callis Amanzar.
Hocus Pocus.
Hocus Pocus.
I was waiting for the chair to levitate. Harold Potter, is that you? Like,
hey man, she goes by Cardi B, and she's setting all types of records.
Yo, say that again, yo.
Bel Callis Amanzar.
All right, what is that? Like,
that is her government name. I'm sure I'm probably desecrating it a little bit, but that's phonetically that's how it looks.
That's a fine. Shout out to Dan Levitard, yo. Like, I don't, better than, I told you, you're the name dude, man, because she's Cardi, yo.
No, she's definitely always gonna be Cardi. She's headlining the third day at Coachella coming up. SNL, Jimmy Fallon, albums dropping.
Yeah, they had to push the album up because I think there's a little offset in the oven.
Allegedly, we'll see. Time will tell. But yeah, Invasion of Privacy is what is set to drop. If you're a pure hip hop fan, please do not click on this. Do not do not stream it. Don't download it, because I don't want to hear your tears. All right, I don't want to hear your whining.
Yeah,
she's doing her thing. Let her do her thing. Me and the homie had gotten into a discussion about this. He is somewhat right, but at the same time, she's doing her thing. Let her eat. Let her do her thing. All right. His gripe is for her to be celebrated the way that she is, and the fact that she doesn't really represent the craft or represent the art of emceeing how you would want to for someone that's getting so much notoriety. it doesn't sit well with him and others because it's like you're promoting something that is almost being like projected as a mockery. Yeah, I don't think she's doing that. Like when I see Little Dicky and guys like him, I think he is kind of, appropriating things and kind of maybe making fun of.
Yo, some of these niggas, man, just say it. Let's keep it 100, man. Some of these niggas are appropriating their own culture. Okay. They're making a mockery of their own culture. Some of you little fucks, y'all make it a mockery with some of the things that you do. So
like, I don't think she's like making fun of it. I think she's really like on some of these verses, like she's trying to get down.
Yeah, I think she was given an opportunity and she ran with it.
Yeah.
I'm not making an excuse for her. But see, here's the other thing. She's never claimed to be this the queen of
bars.
Lyrics.
She's not spitting and being like bars, like bars.
And she's never claimed to be anything but somebody trying to get money.
And trying to get money. I'm from the X. I don't feel like being on the pole no more. I can do this and make so much more money. Let's get it.
And you say what you want about her, whether she writes it or not. She raps it, and she raps it.
Last question. This is a serious question right here. Is she sexy?
There's an appeal to her. There's a sexy. See, like when I
so like all right, so like this, like we're gonna be dudes for a minute.
Now you ask what I.
No, I'm not gonna do that. No.
Because that's a totally different.
No. That's a whole nother. No. That's a whole.
I think all right. Here's my final.
Hold on. Let me say this, and no disrespect to anybody, but do you think Rhapsody's sexy?
No.
No. You say that pretty definitively without thinking about it. With her, with Cardi, you had to kind of like.
Because Cardi, I think she can be sexy. I think I've seen her and she has some sex appeal. With Rhapsody, I think her voice is sexy. I think her music is, but it's not the same. But that's her the way that her image is. It's not. I'm trying to be sexy. I think there's pretty much, the way the makeup artists and clothes work. You can. We had a saying that we used to say all the time. That we got from the god Skila. Prom night's the bomb night where the ugly girls look all right. So I mean, and not saying either one of them are ugly, but if you take a girl and you get a glam squad on them, you can make just about any young lady sexy. I mean, there with several exceptions, but so to answer your question, Rhapsody can be sexy,
of course,
but that's not her steez.
I mean, her whole thing is to make sure that you respect what she's doing first, as far as her art. And then if you choose to be enamored of anything else, that's your prerogative. I think.
Cardi's appeal,
but Cardi is. Would it be right to say that she's selling sex though? I don't think she's selling sex. Not like how Kim and Foxy were though.
No, it's not the same.
It's not.
Like they were selling, like one night. One night for $1 million,
right.
Indecent proposal fantasy.
Right.
That's what they were selling, with her. She sells it like she's a round the way girl. And, if I played my cards right, I could get that girl. Yeah. That's her appeal. But she always has that, she'll take you to the upper room. I mean,
right. Yeah.
Yeah.
So we said all that to say
they're trying to make her sexy though, like because there's no like you remember her mixtape cover, the she was
heat about that now too.
She's taking heat for it.
Well, yeah, I think the image that was used. I think the guy is suing her. Or something. I don't know. I didn't really get too far into the story.
Hold on. What?
Whatever the image is, this came up like a couple months ago, and it's resurfaced again.
If dude's suing her, he is what he was eating.
There you go. But yeah, something like that. He didn't give permission for that particular image to be used or whatever
That's somebody trying to get a bag.
Payday.
Yeah, he never thought she was gonna. He never thought that was gonna ever see the light of day, or she was gonna be the star that she is. Fuck out of here, man. Cornball. Herb.
So as we talk about
to kick his funky heart out.
So we talk about her, and she's definitely benefited from this era that, as far as the streams and the downloads, and we look now to a company like Spotify, who's recently begun trading on the New York Stock Exchange. They started on Tuesday. It pushed the company's market value to just under $30 billion, which both of us were like, "Oh, word, okay."
Oh, let's get it.
Right. So ultimately, they opened at $165.90, and then they made reference prices of 132, and then went back to 155. But they didn't actually sell any shares. It just more so just made what their direct listing price would be available for people, so that they could get excited. Philmatic, does that open your eyes a little bit? In terms of the type of power that Spotify has? Like, does that kind of change things when you look at them?
It definitely does, because I always looked at them as the second in the market behind Apple Music. Yeah. But as you informed me, they're the leader in the market by quite a large margin.
So they have 71 million worldwide subscribers so far, and they're looking to push that to 96. Yeah. I mean, of course, I could say I'm looking to push any, but right now, as of right now, they have 71 million.
Yeah, but that's still like more than double.
Yeah, Apple Music has 38 million in the 3 years that they've existed so far.
Yeah. So I mean, they're the market leader. They're worth about I'll be interested. I'll be curious to know like how much just Apple Music is worth in comparison. Like just that portion of.
It would be interesting because they are on everybody's phone that has an iPhone, so that kind of pushes them into a different realm.
Yeah, and then the name recognition, the brand,
right? Your iTunes is in tune with that. So if you're
the diehards, the fruit company lovers,
yeah.
So
so it these streaming wars. I mean, everybody's trying to
fruit stands,
trying to come up with the best tech and the best way to be able to exploit us music lovers.
If Spotify want to stay number one, like put the tissue on your
put the tissue on your tape, Spotify.
Yeah, man. Let us get on that Spotify podcast playlist.
Yeah,
let's get it.
But I thought that was eye-opening when I saw that. I was like 30 billion. I was like, okay, I just didn't view them like that.
Yeah, I mean, I knew it was in the billions. I didn't realize it was that many billions, though. That's the salute to them, But
they're saying they're just getting started, so look out.
A lot of their employees were the original stockholders. So could you imagine being like one of them day one employees?
No.
Yo, I'm cashing out. Like, work. Yo, when can I sell it? Like, all right. So one share is worth for 100. So if you got, I wonder how much like their original shares, like how many actual shares those original ones are worth, I
mean,
or if you one of those day one investors and you got, a couple thousand shares.
Yeah. So they have those incentive programs. I know just based off of some of my friends that are at these tech companies, and they have these shares, and it's obviously not anything like the COOs and CEOs, but let's just say I have a friend that may have, maybe 100 shares, just for good math, on a company that is trading at about over 100 a share. So that's not bad, right?
Oh. I had a couple shares in my day.
I'm just saying this for that to just be an incentive type thing. Yeah. I mean, if that's just plain math, that's not bad.
I rolled them to the 401k when I left that company, but yeah, I had some nice size shares. They were 3-digit shares.
Yeah, it's not bad.
Yeah.
So salute to all of the man. Things are just going to change so much in the next 18 months. It's crazy. So we just got to just stay ahead of the game.
That's 30 bills.
Yeah, 30 billion is serious. That's retirement money, and as we see,
buy NFL team money.
By
the NFL.
Right, yeah, for real. Start your own league. Man, let me talk to you about this. I actually wanted to get your opinion on Jeezy, man. Jeezy just
last time I checked, he was the man in them streets.
I mean, last time I checked too, Jeezy just looked like he's just tired though.
No, like he been all the way 100.
Jeezy's like I was supposed to hit y'all with these next two and then split.
Like I don't think he wants to rap anymore. Like I think he's just like he's tired of the grind of it. Like not saying that he can't do it anymore. I think he just physically doesn't want. I mean, you talking about a dude that like from his first album, he literally, almost lost it all because his voice, he had to have a surgery.
Yeah,
which he paid for in cash, by the way, which is a whole nother awesome ass story.
Yeah, that's great.
But he had to have throat surgery, because he was straining his voice on a nightly basis. So
that's right.
He's a whole lot of off in the Air Force. Like
some rappers, when they say they're gonna retire, you can best believe that they aren't. I'm almost positive that if we get this TEM 104 at some point this year, I think that's the last. School's out for summer.
Graduation day, man.
Yeah.
Like no, all I ever wanted though is like, what happened to the advanced level classes? What happened to the 200 level classes? Yo, like there's no.
That is exactly what he said. He said, "Man, y'all Negroes are so dumb.
I can't even give y'all the 200.
I can't even get past that. Y'all are still getting booked with bricks on you driving 100 miles per hour. What did he tell you? Number one rule is what? Don't get caught. You guys are still. So he's like, nah, ain't no advanced level. We sticking in the 100s. This is entry level motivation because niggas don't read.
Yeah, man. And the only way you can get caught is if you white dude in New Jersey.
Oh man.
You
get caught and you get a spank on the wrist.
Yeah. No jail time for 80 bricks.
It's crazy.
Gotta love it.
What was your favorite Jeezy album out of all of them? Was it 101?
Yeah, it's 101, man.
That's the hit. That's a hip hop classic.
That's a certified classic, man. I mean, Air Forces, Go Crazy.
Bottom of the map.
I mean,
get your mind right.
Last time I checked, that was the man in these streets. I mean, just that line. I mean, we talked about the importance of that line lines, to us. I mean, we've kind of like immortalized it in our blogs and then our daily conversations. But that in and of itself is, and then just the game that he spit in, like from every account that I've heard, he is who he said he was.
Yeah.
So I mean, when you factor all those things in, and just like how the streets, the snowman logo, like I mean the whole rollout, the campaign, jumping on the hustling remix, that time frame, and I was in Florida back then. So you already know what it was. Like, you couldn't go in, and I wasn't even in like the hood. I was in a fairly melanin challenged part of town.
Right.
Still,
Yeah.
Old school Chevys, drop top Porsches.
So he had one of the coldest lines on Drake's Unforgettable off of
I done did everything in the A, but chili.
That's it, man. When he
Yo,
said that, I said, all right, Snow.
you got it, fam.
You got it, man. That's it. That line is all that, man.
Yo,
So
I'm telling you, this would be the greatest thing ever. Like, if on the last song, he has chili on the song, yo.
Oh man.
And she's like, John, you ready? Don't even call him Jeezy, call him John, yo.
Man, shout to Jeezy. He's definitely held it down.
Shout out to Chili for still looking like she 22, yo.
Man, black don't crack.
No, especially her kind.
Yeah, for real. She got that running waters.
Yeah.
Black, Indian in my family.
Yo, she got that 4K HD where they like it's like how many types of black is it? Like, with true black.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, what else can you say, man? He dropped the young. I mean, he'll always be young Jeezy, I think, for his fans and everything.
Yeah, man.
But,
it's like Mama named him Clay. I'm gonna call him Clay, yo.
Yeah, no, it's just good to see, because I think this is one of the cases where he's going out on his own terms, and it's not a Wayne situation where he's just in purgatory.
Yeah, I think every now and then he might do some shows or like anniversary shows or things like that, or maybe even.
I mean, he's got a classic record, so he can tour.
He can definitely tour. I mean, he has classic records. I mean, Soul Survivor is. I mean, he has some. He has some joints. But that's My President is Black. I mean,
right. But that's part of what Royce was saying. Royce said, I don't have a classic album. Classic album is something that you can tour. You can do a show strictly just off of that. And Royce is like, I would love to have that. And, the first offering that we got from that so far is this Boblo boat. And for people, I guess, from that particular part of the country, that means a whole lot, apparently, because the internet and people that
going ham.
Yeah, they were like, wow, okay, Royce. Like, I have no clue. When I saw the name of it, I was like, what is that? But listening to the record, listening to J. Cole kind of give his...
Cole sounded like he won it, too.
Yeah, no, Cole was hungry, man. And I think it was a nice mixture to get him kind of in there with an MC of Royce's caliber, because you can't, you don't want to leave yourself
and he
open for a slaughter, so to speak.
I see what you did there.
Yeah.
Plus he was on the Cos joint, Zendaya.
Yeah.
He did his thing on there, and he was on another song. I'm trying to think. On the joint with Jeezy. From the last album,
yes,
with Kendrick,
where
he kind of spazzed out on that. So yeah, Cole been doing this thing a little bit, keeping the folks up.
I mean, we'll see. I mean, again, it was good to see Royce. He's not stopping, man. Prime 2, he's in full promotion mode with that, and then he drops this joint, and then the net was, and like I said, the internet was very pleased with that. So it's
don't you think he could tour off Prime 1 and 2? Like, I mean, it's not going to be like
premiere. It's kind of like cheating, though. You know what I'm saying? It's kind of like cheating.
It's a bit of a cheat code, but I mean,
I think he's saying from the standpoint of and he's been saying it here recently. Preem, you a legend, and then Preem will respond back like, "Yo, you a legend too." In the making, like basically you.
Yeah, but everybody can't come up there. I mean, Preem did albums with a lot of people.
Yeah,
and they can't tour with the Preem records that they did. So,
yeah, I think just from his own, I think he's just like, he's like Ryan Daniel Montgomery needs his own.
I feel it, but I think off the last 2 years, with the 2 Prime projects,
but you got to look
layers.
A lot of those Prime joints too. I mean, they were kind of feature heavy with the deluxe, and even. So, I mean, this one here, he has a little bit more as far as records by himself. It was no longer an LP, but I get what he's saying, though. He wants his
I feel him, but I mean, I think if tickets for Prime went on tour.
Oh, everybody, but it's just not the same as having your
Yeah,
joint.
you're Royce the 5'9".
Right. Book of
Yeah,
Ryan.
yeah. So,
But yeah, Bob Lobo, available for streaming pre-orders May 4th, which will be here before you know it for Book of Ryan.
yes.
So we kind of shifted
Yo,
gears from Jeezy to
I
Royce.
tweeted the boy.
Oh, you did?
Why doesn't the
Oh,
album come
5'9".
out on
Well, I
5/9?
mean,
It's a
five,
Friday too.
5 foot. Oh, it is.
Yeah, like you got why not?
Yeah.
That just seems right.
I don't know.
Royce, I know you listening. Put the album out on 5/9. It's not going to change. 5 days is not going to change.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm not sure. He obviously thought about it and said no. So yeah.
Or maybe he didn't. I wonder if he. I mean,
There's no way you pick 5'4" and your name is 5'9" and you didn't do it. Like somebody obviously told him there was a reason why he couldn't do it on that date.
Fear of industry retail chart inner movement. Like Machiavelli. that's a hip.
Yo, that's my joint, man.
Yo,
what was she talking about?
Yo, whatever it was, somebody was scared of it because they ain't want no parts of it. Yo,
scared of going quadruple platinum.
Yeah, man. But
man, that's hilarious.
Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, as you can see, we're just having fun. Just talking about some topics. Rapture on Netflix is a new original series. Netflix is definitely coming for the throne, man. I mean,
they got their foot on everybody's neck.
If you're an individual that's opposite of yourself and that just doesn't really need to, dabble into a whole bunch of shows, and you just say, hey, look, I'm gonna watch whatever's on this one channel. Yo, Netflix is.
They eating everybody lunch, yo.
One-stop shop for a lot of people.
Yeah, man.
Especially millennials. Like millennials don't necessarily watch TV like us old fossil dinosaurs do.
Yeah.
So they can literally just find anything and they'll watch a documentary series or old movie or whatever and just be content with that. But the Rapture, starting with Logic, you get a chance to kind of really get behind the scenes.
That joke was hilarious.
These rappers.
It was dope insight. It had some dope moments on there, like talking about his life and how it shaped his music. He brought one of his fans up there, a young boy. He rapped the words to his song, which was dope. But one of the true ironies of all ironies about the Logic, there was a whole significant section of the episode where he talks about how happy he is and this is the happiest he's ever been being with his wife.
It's a kiss of death, man.
Yeah, it's like thank you for coming out, God bless you, good night. He shut it down. Yeah, they the news came out that they're apparently they're still friends.
Oh yeah, that's that official divorce talk right there.
Yeah, they're still friends, but they just decided to go their separate ways. And then he signed a $30 million deal with the new Def Jam. I wonder if he signed it before or after the divorce was final.
Yeah.
But regardless of that, the Netflix is doing an excellent job of first of all they got the intro is done by Just Blaze. I believe RZA is scoring all the episodes, but the first three I haven't watched them all at this point, but the first three are Logic. Second was Nas and Dave East. The third one is T.I. in his non-regional diction.
Indubitably.
So
it looks like there's four G-Eazy, 2 Chainz, Rhapsody, Just Blaze, and A Boogie with the Hoodie.
Yeah. So there's learned a lot of things that I didn't know about Davies and Logic. Most of the stuff I knew about not, although one gem that he revealed, spoiler alert if you haven't seen it yet, he said that the opening lines to One Mic, he did not write them. He said his brother wrote them. He said his brother was scribbling on a piece of paper, and he wrote the opening lines to one mic, and then he was like, "Oh, that sounds dope," and he took it. He said this on stage in front of a crowd of people. He said he took it, and then he finished the rest. You know, so does that mean Nas has a ghostwriter? No.
Jungle.
Jungle's Nas ghostwriter. But no, but that was cool that he gave his brother credit, because some people have such an ego, especially when he's so revered.
Sure.
You know, because there will be people that see that and say, "Oh, see, he don't write his own."
Yeah,
fuck out of here. It was dope though. Is great to see, because they talked about, like, you know, them being kind of you know, estranged from one another, and like not really hanging out, and then, you know, them getting back together and being inseparable, you know, since they reconnected.
Yeah,
so that was cool to see.
Gotta love that.
Yeah, and then you just really see in there, in that same episode, you see Dave East's love for his daughter. Like, I mean, you already know that this first album was named after his daughter, but you genuinely see, like, there's one part where his pop is getting interviewed, and then you see him playing with her in the background, and it's like, he could care less that the camera's in there. And, you know, a lot of so-called tough guys and, you know, rap dudes, they got to keep their persona up. You know, they be too cool for school to even play with their kid, you know, on camera.
Yeah,
which is lame and makes them even more whack. But not Dave, and that made me like him even more. You know what I mean?
Yeah, 2 Chainz on his episode, he definitely showed how family oriented he is, and it was real cool to see the dynamic that he and his wife have as far as raising their children, and, you know, being in a household that has someone that's so popular, that has so many obligations to kind of keep a certain lifestyle. Like, he can't ever just come out the house and just, you know, just be
that's another dude that his come up is amazing.
Yeah.
He's at the point where he could be a star without rapping.
Yeah, for sure.
He's at that point.
Yeah, but no, it was good to see that, and, you know, it's just a good series overall from what I've seen so far. So I was appreciative for them for sharing that, and you know, Roxanne, Shante, you know, just coming out a week before.
Everything's hip hop vibe.
Yeah, I see, man. Giving good insight into her, and, you know, just the whole way that she kind of exploded on the scene. What did you think about the movie itself? Did you like the writing, the acting, and the overall?
I thought the acting was excellent.
Mm-hmm.
I thought the actors did a great job. It felt like that era.
Mm-hmm.
You know, that's our era. It felt genuine and authentic. The whole story, it felt incomplete to me, though.
Yeah, me too.
It felt like it stopped short of explaining, you know, like what happened after, you know. Mm-hmm. But one thing that it did do for me, and I'm sure for others, it filled in a lot of gaps, and it filled in some answers that explained why her career went the way it did, why certain things didn't happen, why she wasn't more prolific with recording. You know, life kind of, you know, kicked her ass literally, and it's unfortunate that she went through all of that, and it stunted her growth as an artist. But I'm glad to see that she was still able to persevere and come out with it, and, you know, go on to be, I mean, because you see so many people, they go through some hard stuff, and, you know, it totally destroys them and they never recover. She was able to recover and, you know, still be Roxanne Shante, but still be a regular productive person within society, you know, and anytime she want, you know, that Roxanne Shante persona, you know, it's a part of her DNA, so she can flip it on.
Yeah.
But you know what would have been dope though? If they could have ended that joint with, like, showing like that final Juice Crew reunion.
Yeah.
That would have been that's something I would have loved to have seen. You know, But that's probably why we need to be making the movies, though.
There you go.
Thing.
I think when you hear about some of these projects that are on the verge of getting greenlit, or you hear the rumors about this, that we heard about the Juice Crew movie. I always wonder if this was maybe a byproduct of that, to where they may have had a grand product, maybe depicting all these different characters, different people's lives, and then they finally just honed in and maybe did a rewrite to just highlight her. I wonder if that is something that may have happened.
Or maybe because these ideas get kicked around so much, and they get rewritten. Like some of the great movies that end up being made, they never originally started out the way that they actually were presented to the public. Yo, real quick, do you know? So speaking of to this point, do you know who were the original actors slated for Bad Boys?
Key and Peele.
They were not even.
Damon Wayans.
I can give you a billion guesses. For $1 billion, you would not get it.
Hold on, Damon Wayans and Steve Harvey.
I'm gonna help you out. They were not black. The original actors that were, and this is a true story.
Vanilla Ice. I don't know.
All right, so what if I told you Bad Boys starring John Lovitz and Dana Carvey?
Come on, man.
I promise you.
Yeah.
100%.
A Michael Bay production.
A Michael Bay production.
Oh, man, come on.
I promise you.
Yeah.
Yo, 100. I did not believe it myself. I had to look it up. Yo.
Whoever proposed that got fired immediately when the right set of eyes got caught.
Yo, could you see? No. Yo, who was gonna be Mike Lowry? Yo, which one was gonna be Mike Lowry?
John Lovitz.
That's the ticket. Driving a Porsche. He was gonna have a critic busting his guns at the zoos. Hey, get out of here, man! Come on.
I mean, do the critic bust his guns?
Oh no, man.
Boy. So as we head to the end of this, we definitely wanted to just catch up again, give people an opportunity to know. In the past few episodes, we spoke to Kobe Kolb, we spoke to DMV's own Davis, we spoke to Vintage Babies, we spoke to Jamel Honesty, and you and I have done our thing as far as the tissue and the tape heat holders. Stereo side chat / just regular episodes from the crew. Want to send a shout out to G and Reem.
Absolutely.
Again, definitely giving a shout out to the War Room Sports Podcast Network. We're going to talk about a couple more topics and then get out of here, man.
What you got?
So, I always want to get your take on things. You have a unique way of looking at certain things, especially when it comes to, what we normally talk about in hip hop. I never got a chance to talk to you about Snoop Dogg's Bible of Love.
Number one gospel album in the country, yo.
Did you get a chance to listen to this, my brother?
No. Actually, I did hear one of the songs because I was at my mom's house on for Common's first album day.
Yeah.
It's the second album. Yeah. Anyway, now I was there and there was like there was a award show one that was on TV, and it was like the replay. I guess it was like the gospel awards.
Okay.
And he was on there. And I was like, and all I could think about is like, yo, I'm innocent.
I'm innocent.
like I was like, yo, this was the scariest dude in the world at one point. Like, he was legit feared by everybody,
Mm.
and now has the #1 gospel album, and even still, like it's just interesting. But I mean, I just so I'll be able to speak on it. I think I am going to listen to it. I mean, but I haven't really listened. I mean,
I had to give it a spin just because.
so you did. So you listened to. So all right. So
it just wasn't what I expected. I was totally surprised. I was actually pretty proud of the transition.
is
That
he still rapping, or is he like?
Yeah, but it's it's kind of that swagged out Snoop. Kind of it's pretty motovational
Talking on there?
inspiration. No, they definitely left
You
that
can't
out.
get Mistleplex for the Lord. Yeah?
No, but overall though, man, Snoop doing this thing, man.
Jesus not wearing blue and gray.
Snoop Lion.
Yo, this
Snoop,
dude got a reggae album.
yeah,
Yo,
gospel
I think that
album.
joint went #1.
Yeah,
And he has a certified hip hop classic album.
yeah, certified.
Couple, dozens of classic singles and guest appearances.
Yeah,
I mean, he's one of the greatest American entertainers for sure.
yeah.
Yo,
Period.
he's one of the most recognizable faces and voices.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, ever. Like when we did our episode about it's mostly the voice.
Mm-hmm.
Like he was one of those people that like they got the joint where he's narrating what is it the planet,
Yeah,
the
Neo Geo,
National Geographic's Planet Earth series.
Yes.
He's narrating it like voiceovers, and it's amazing, yo. Particularly you got to Google the one where it's what is it? It is it's a lizard trying to get away from snakes. It's one of the funniest things you'll ever hear in your life, yo.
Hey, cuh.
Yo, but no, shout out to Snoop, man, for just like saying, yo, I'm gonna do it, and just having the the goal, not the goal, that's not the right word, having the desire to do it and actually executing on it, and from people that appreciate gospel music, from what I understand, it's good.
Yeah. Nah, he's definitely pioneering something, and he'll be doing something too.
Friends I know that listen to gospel music say they like it. So yeah. I mean,
there you go. Like I said, before we get out of here, just a couple more topics. Are you looking forward to Jay-Z in his conversation with David Letterman? They used to have some pretty good banter back and forth on the Late Show on CBS, and now he's on Netflix. So it's a little bit more unabashed, less. Yeah.
It's gonna be less Seinfeld, more Curb Your Enthusiasm.
Yeah. So I'm looking forward to that. Which should be the end of this week. I guess Friday is dropping at 6.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, Philmatic. We have a couple more episodes in the works. People definitely love the old school, new school episode that we did with Jade. So we're looking forward to.
Oh yeah, that's coming back. We got a
talking to her again.
We got a dope old school, new school.
Yeah. I think people will really like it, and I think when she walks away from this one, maybe learning some of the history that we have planned to tell her about if she doesn't know already, I think she'll definitely have a greater appreciation for, just where she actually grew up, and then also just all the talent that's probably past her without her even knowing.
Yeah, man.
So I can't wait.
A lot of different sites do the bracket challenges, and they did one for the greatest MC, and the greatest group, and it happened to be they both happened to be from Long Island. So it was, but I got one more thing before we go.
Yeah,
because this the boy at Howard, that was boosting the that was scamming the money from financial aid. Yeah.
My man Tyrone said, all I do is scam and sex. Imagine how I stroke. You seen what I did last semester.
Yo, this boy.
Hey, man.
Yo, this boy was gallivanting
Yeah.
across the globe. Yeah. He literally had a social media team follow him around and take pictures. This boy was shimmying across the campus with a 5K Gucci bag.
The thing about that is though, man, and we know people that it happened to too, where they just weren't able to continue school just based off of whatever financial hardships or right, exactly. So
look at me.
Right. But I'm saying people, but I mean you eventually persevered. That's definitely like a shout to you and like your like ambition. But there's people that just say, you know what? All right, man, this just ain't, I'm just gonna just give up.
I'm done.
You know what I'm saying? So that's probably happened on so many instances.
You know how many lives that dude
man.
Probably ruined because of people that was, you know, the financial aid, you know, I'm air quoting, ran out.
Right.
You know.
Right.
Meanwhile, this dude is in the Maldives, you know, with his women's shoes on.
Yeah, he would have to shoot the fifth with a couple. I know I would want to.
Yeah. Sure. Oh, and he was so ignorant. Oh, he was flagrant on his IG, yo. It just flagrant. Yo, this dude on the joint said another semester down. Another one in
$435, something crazy.
Yeah, I mean it was just like that's a dude, but like me and the champ was talking about it, it's like, all right, he goes to jail. He can't he won't ever be able to pay the money back.
Right.
But they can't take those memories and those experiences away from him.
True.
Now here's the one thing where it's going to hurt him though. He was a law student, and he was, you know, like a semester or two away from graduating with his law degree. That's done.
Yeah,
you know that he'll probably be banned from the bar because of this.
Definitely could see something like that happen. If you were affected by this, someone that you love is affected by this, we definitely are sorry this happened to you. Yeah, that's nuts.
Not at my age, you.
Yeah. but no, shout to everybody listening to us. Again, we have fun just giving our takes on these topics that are coming up.
Shout out to everybody from the True Blue.
Oh man, the March Madness is over.
Our stealing comes from the top.
Ceiling is a roof. Shout to everybody that's shoveling snow out there in the Northeast cities and whatnot. Spring is on the way, ladies and gentlemen.
It was 77 here, yo. It was like hell degrees down there.
Oh, it was like 85 or so.
Oh yeah, y'all was on that first plane. You know, y'all was on. Y'all ain't getting to the death yet where it'd be like, you know, I'm gonna go make breakfast on the ground outside.
Man, on that note, man, Philmatic, take us out with the fader.
Okay, gang, do what you can. Kid. I'm gonna say it forever because since I know what it means now.
Yeah.
But no, man, definitely shout out to everybody that's been showing us love, all the new followers. Been uploading. You can definitely check out our Mixcloud. Our Mixcloud is finally up and running. We have the Respect Heat Holderz volumes 1 through 5, and by the time you hear this, there will be a special treat from the board, courtesy of 4979. So there'll be something up there for by the time you hear this episode. So you can go to where we are. Tissue and the Tape podcast on Mixcloud. You can go there. We'll be posting some links and everything, and we got a whole bunch of gems coming for that platform as well. Shout out to our brother DJ Rick G's, and You know what it is, Vod. We work for that money, we live for that love, and we die for what we believe in. This is Tissue and the Tape. So please respect heat holders. Yeah.
Got the red alert.
In the relationship.